Dae-sung stopped banging on his cell door when he saw them approach. "What happened?" "I heard an explosion," he said. "One of your friends tried to steal our technology," Hae-Newell said coldly. "Not my friend," Dae-sung replied. "I work alone." Jun-ho stepped forward. "But you knew others were after the station." Dae-sung nodded. "Everyone in the bounty business knows. This station has the biggest price on it in the sector." He looked at Jun-ho with new respect. "You stopped them." "He saved the crystal," Lara said, at great risk to himself. Dae-sung whistled. "Maybe you're not just a lucky fool after all." "Commander," Araya's voice came through the speakers. "Multiple ships detected approaching the station. Estimated arrival, 30 minutes. Hae-Newell turned to Jun-ho. "More bounty hunters. We need to prepare." "How many ships?" Jun-ho asked. 7 small vessels. 1 large command ship, Araya answered. "That's a hunter fleet," Dae-sung said. "They're serious." "We need weapons," Hae-Newell said. "The armory is in Section 4. "The defense systems," Mira suggested. "Can we activate them?" Lara shook her head. "They've been offline for years. It would take days to restart them." Jun-ho thought hard. He was an engineer, not a fighter. What would work against spaceships? What about the engine technology? He asked suddenly. The faster-than-light drive. Could we use that somehow? Lara looked surprised. "It's not a weapon. It's for travel." "But you said it's not stable," Jun-ho reminded her. "That it could tear holes in space." Understanding dawned on Lara's face. "You want to threaten them with it. Make them think we'll activate an unstable drive." "Not just threaten," Jun-ho said. "We could create a small field around the station. Just enough to distort space around us. Make it impossible for them to dock." "That's actually brilliant," Lara admitted, "but very dangerous. If we miscalculate, we could destroy ourselves." "It's worth the risk," Jun-ho said. He turned to Dae-sung. "If I let you out, will you help us?" Dae-sung looked surprised. "You trust me?" "No," Hae-Newell said quickly. "We need all the help we can get," Jun-ho insisted. "And he knows how bounty hunters think." After a moment, Hae-Newell reluctantly opened the cell. Dae-sung stepped out. "Smart move. And yes, I'll help. I prefer being on the winning side." They returned to Section 7, now accessible through a different entrance. The main engine was damaged, but Lara showed Jun-ho how it worked. "We need to create a controlled field," she explained. "Just strong enough to distort space around the station without tearing it." Jun-ho studied the engine. It was advanced, but the principles made sense to him. "What if we reverse the polarity here?" he suggested, pointing to a set of controls. "And reduce power to 20%. Lara looked at his suggestion and seemed impressed. "That might work, but how did you know that?" "I'm an aerospace engineer," Jun-ho said with a smile. "The math is different, but physics is physics." They worked quickly. Mira helped connect power systems. Hae-Newell and Dae-sung prepared a backup plan, gathering weapons from the armory. 10 minutes until ships arrive, Araya announced. Jun-ho made final adjustments to the engine. Sweat dripped down his face. "Ready," he said finally. Lara handed him the crystal. "You should do it. It's your station." Jun-ho took a deep breath and placed the crystal in its slot. The engine hummed to life. A blue glow spread from it. "Field activating," Araya reported. Spatial distortion detected around station perimeter. On the main screen, they watched as the approaching ships suddenly slowed. They tried to move forward but seemed to be pushing against something invisible. "It's working," Mira exclaimed. The largest ship fired a weapon. The energy blast hit the distortion field and curved away harmlessly. Hae-Newell looked at Jun-ho with new respect. "Human ingenuity. Perhaps we underestimated your species." Jun-ho smiled, but he knew they weren't safe yet. The field was using a lot of power, and the bounty hunters didn't seem to be leaving. Now what? Dae-sung asked. Now we find a way to get rid of them for good, Jun-ho said, before our power runs out. 1 month later, the space station looked very different. The damaged sections were repaired. All systems were working. New equipment had been installed, and Jun-ho was getting used to his new life. He sat in the command center, looking at reports on the main screen. Lara worked beside him, her purple fingers moving quickly over the controls. The new tests look promising, she said. Your idea about the asymmetrical field is working. Good, Jun-ho said. Maybe we'll solve the stability problem sooner than we thought. Hae-nul entered the room with Dae-sung. To everyone's surprise, the bounty hunter had asked to stay on the station. He was now in charge of security, working under Hae-nul. The defense systems are fully operational, Hae-nul reported, and Dae-sung has provided information about other bounty hunters we should watch for. My old colleagues aren't happy with me, Dae-sung said with a smile, but I like being on the winning team. Mira came in next, carrying a tray of colorful fruits. From the new garden, she explained. Earth plants mixed with alien species. They're safe for humans. Jun-ho took a blue apple-like fruit and bit into it. It tasted like honey and cinnamon. Amazing, he said. You have a gift with plants. Mira's green cheeks turned a darker shade. She smiled shyly. Yang Mai entered last. The council enforcer had been watching everything but interfering very little. She seemed pleased with their progress. I have news, she announced. The council is impressed with the advancements made here. They are considering making this arrangement permanent. Everyone looked happy, especially Jun-ho. That's great news, he said. There is more, Yang Mai continued. The council has discovered other Earth purchases of alien technology through the same system malfunction. You mean other humans bought alien stuff by accident? Jun-ho asked. Yes, small outposts, mostly. Nothing as significant as this station, but it means Earth's introduction to the galaxy may happen sooner than planned. Are they all being handled like this? Lara asked. No, this is a special case. Yang Mai looked at Jun-ho. Because of you. Jun-ho felt his face get warm. The alien women were all looking at him with respect, and something more. I just got lucky, he said. Luck is finding a credit on the ground, Dae-sung said. What you did was much more. Your courage and creativity have changed how the council views humans, Yang Mai added. This station will be the first official contact point between Earth and the galaxy. Jun-ho looked around at the aliens who had become his friends. Maybe more than friends. Lara touched his hand gently. Hae-nul nodded at him with respect. Mira gave him a shy smile. Even Yang Mai looked at him with warmth in her white eyes. What about Earth? He asked. My family, my friends, do they know where I am? We sent a message to your friend Taiwan, Lara said. He knows you're safe. As far as Earth is concerned, you're working on a private space research station. Which is true, Hae-nul pointed out. They're not ready to know everything yet, Yang Mai said. But someday soon, they will be. Jun-ho nodded. He walked to his small room off the command center. On the wall, in a simple frame, was a single dollar bill. He had asked Taiwan to send it up on the last supply ship. He touched the frame. $1 for a space station. $1 for adventure. $1 for a new life among the stars. $1 for a future where humans would join the galactic community. And best of all, $1 for meeting 4 amazing alien women who had changed his life forever. The emergency alarm suddenly sounded. Everyone rushed to their stations. Unidentified ship approaching, Araya announced. Jun-ho looked at his new friends, his new family. Here we go again, he said with a smile. His dollar space station adventure was just beginning. The end. Hae-nul returned with 3 small devices that looked like silver bracelets. She gave one to Lara and one to Mira. What are those? Jun-ho asked. Personal shields, Hainul explained. They can stop most weapons. We don't have one for you. They only work for our kind. Docking complete, Araya announced. Airlock is cycling. The four of them stood facing the main entrance. Hainul moved in front of the others, her body tense. Remember, Lara whispered to Junho, you are the commander. Your word is final. The door slid open. A tall man with dark hair stepped through. He was human. He wore a black flight suit with strange symbols. He looked Korean, around 35, with a strong build and a small scar above his right eye. Junho was shocked. You're human. The man looked equally surprised. So are you. What are you doing here with them? He looked at the alien women with distrust. I'm Junho Kim. I own this station. The man raised his eyebrows. Omit. That's interesting. I'm Daesung Park. My ship had engine trouble. Thank you for letting me dock. Hainul still stood in a fighting stance. How does a human have a ship capable of reaching this station? Earth has no such technology. Daesung smiled. I'm an explorer. I found an abandoned ship years ago. Been traveling ever since. Show us your hands, Hainul demanded. Daesung raised his hand slowly. Easy there, Blue. I'm just a traveler in need of help. Junho thought Daesung seemed too comfortable around aliens for someone who claimed to be from Earth. Is his ship really damaged? Junho asked. Scanning, the eye replied. No damage detected. The ship is fully operational. Daesung's smile disappeared. In one quick move, he pulled out a small gun. Hainul moved faster than seemed possible. She knocked the weapon from his hand and pinned him to the wall. Who are you really? She growled. Okay. Daesung gasped. I'm a bounty hunter. This station has a price on it. A bounty? Lara asked. From who? Everyone. This station is worth millions. I was sent to check if the rumors were true. He looked at Junho. How did a regular human get control of it? I bought it. For $1. Daesung laughed despite Hainul's arm against his throat. $1. You have to be the luckiest man in the galaxy. Take him to the holding cell, Lara told Hainul. As Hainul led Daesung away, Mira turned to Junho. This is bad. If one bounty hunter found us, others will too. Why is this station so valuable? Junho asked. Lara and Mira exchanged looks. There are things you don't know yet, Lara said. Things we were researching here. Commander, ARIA interrupted. I detect an unauthorized access attempt in the science wing. That's impossible, Mira said. That section is sealed. Someone is trying to break in, Junho realized. Daesung must have had a partner. They ran through the corridors toward the science wing. The station was bigger than Junho expected, with many hallways and rooms. They found a sealed door with a small device attached to it. The device had lights flashing on it. It's a hacking module, Lara said. Someone is trying to steal our research. But where are they? Junho looked around. No one was there. Mira pointed to a small vent in the wall. There. Someone small could fit through that. Hainul joined them, having locked up Daesung. She examined the vent. Someone has been through here. Recently. Araya. Junho said, are there any other life forms on this station? Scanning. Yes. One unidentified life form in restricted Section 7. The aliens all looked alarmed. Section 7. Lara whispered. That's where we kept the prototype. What prototype? Junho asked. Before anyone could answer, a loud explosion shook the station. Warning, Araya announced. Hull breach in Section 7. Emergency protocols activated. Lara grabbed Junho's arm. We need to go there now. If they steal it, the whole galaxy will be in danger. Junho didn't understand what was happening, but he knew one thing. His $1 space station was causing a lot of trouble. Power levels dropping, Araya announced. Field will fail in 15 minutes. Junho looked at the others. Any ideas? Before anyone could answer, a new alert sounded. New ship detected, Araya said. Size: massive. Configuration: unknown. On the screen, they saw a ship appear suddenly. It was huge, at least 10 times bigger than the bounty hunter ships. It was shaped like a silver star with glowing blue edges. That's a council ship, Lara whispered, her purple face turning pale. The Galactic Council? Mira asked. Here. Dae-sung backed up against the wall. We're dead. The Council doesn't negotiate. What is the Galactic Council? Junho asked. The highest authority in the galaxy, Haenul explained. They make and enforce all laws between star systems. The bounty hunter ships scattered as the Council ship approached. It stopped just outside their distortion field. Incoming transmission, Araya announced. A voice filled the room. It was female, calm, and spoke perfect Korean. Research Station Harmony Point. This is Council Enforcer Youngmai aboard the Starlight Justice. Lower your defenses immediately. Junho looked at Lara. She nodded slowly. Araya, shut down the field, Junho ordered. The blue glow faded. The engine powered down. Prepare for arrival, the voice said. A bright light filled the command center. When it faded, a woman stood there. She was tall with silver skin that seemed to shimmer. Her hair was white and floated around her head as if underwater. She wore a uniform of blue and silver. Her eyes were completely white with no pupils. She looked at each of them, stopping at Junho. You are the human owner? She asked. Junho swallowed hard. Yes, I'm Junho Kim. I am Enforcer Youngmai of the Galactic Council. She held up a small device. Our records show this station was sold in violation of Council Law 472. No advanced technology may be transferred to non-member species. I paid for it fair and square, Junho said. $1. Youngmai's expression didn't change. The sale price is irrelevant. Humans are not members of the Galactic Council. You cannot legally own this station. But the emergency protocol, Lara started, was a mistake. Youngmai cut her off. The Celestial Alliance will be sanctioned for this breach. She turned to Junho. However, since you acted in good faith, I am authorized to offer compensation. She held out a small cube that glowed with all colors of the rainbow. This contains knowledge and technology suitable for human use. It will make you wealthy on your world. In exchange, you will transfer ownership of this station to the Council. Junho looked at the cube, then at the 3 alien women. They had become his friends in the short time he had known them. Would he ever see them again if he left? What will happen to Lara, Haenul, and Mira? He asked. They will be reassigned, Youngmai said. The research will be moved to a secure Council facility, and the faster-than-light technology. Youngmai's face hardened slightly. That is Council business, not for humans. Junho thought about it. The cube would make him rich on Earth. He could have everything he ever wanted. But something felt wrong. What if I don't accept? He asked. Everyone looked shocked, especially Dae-sung. Are you crazy? The bounty hunter whispered. Take the deal. Youngmai's white eyes narrowed. That would be unwise. The Council can simply take the station. But you haven't, Junho noted. Which means you legally can't. There's something about my ownership that's valid, isn't there? Youngmai was silent for a moment. You are more perceptive than expected, human. Yes, there is a complication. I'm listening, Junho said. For the first time, Youngmai looked uncomfortable. The emergency protocol created a binding contract under ancient council law. To break it would create precedent, dangerous precedent. Junho smiled. He had leverage. Then let's talk about a different deal, he said. One where I keep my station. Junho didn't expect the ride to be so smooth. The shuttle flew itself. There was no feeling of speed or launch, just a gentle push and then stars in the window. He wondered if he was dreaming. Approaching property #7729B, said a calm voice from the speakers. Docking in 2 minutes. Jun-ho looked out the window and gasped. It was real. A space station floated ahead, much bigger than he expected. It was shaped like a wheel with spokes coming from a center hub. Lights blinked along its surface, but many sections were dark. The shuttle docked with a soft bump. A green light came on above the door. "Welcome to your property," the voice said. "Atmosphere is stable. You may exit the shuttle." Jun-ho took a deep breath and opened the door. The air smelled stale but breathable. He stepped out into a dark hallway. Lights came on automatically as he walked. The place looked abandoned. Dust floated in the air. Strange writing covered the walls. Nothing looked like Earth technology. Jun-ho touched a wall panel, and more lights came on. "This is crazy," he whispered. "I actually own a space station." He found what looked like a control room. Screens lined the walls, covered in dust. A large chair sat in the center. When Jun-ho sat in it, the screens suddenly lit up. "New user detected," said a computer voice. "Running biometric scan. Processing." Jun-ho froze as a light passed over his body. "Scan complete. Species: human. Planet of origin: Earth. Status: station owner. Full access granted." The screens filled with data. Most symbols made no sense, but some changed to Korean as he watched. "Hello. Is this some kind of joke?" Jun-ho called out. No answer came, but one screen showed a map of the station. Jun-ho saw that he was in just a small part of it. Most sections were marked in red, meaning no power. One section caught his eye. It was labeled Crew Quarters. Jun-ho decided to explore. He followed the map through empty hallways until he reached a round room with 6 tube-like chambers against the walls. 5 were empty. One was closed and had a soft blue light on top. "What is this?" Jun-ho wondered, looking at the closed tube. It looked like a sleeping pod from a movie. He wiped dust from a small screen on the side. Symbols flashed, then changed to Korean. Hibernation Pod 3. Occupied. Status: stable. Time in stasis: 2.7 Earth years. "Someone's in there." Jun-ho couldn't believe it. His hand accidentally pressed a green button. The pod hissed. Frost melted from its clear top. The blue light turned green, and the top slowly opened. Inside was a woman, but not a human woman. Her skin was light purple. Her hair was silver and long. Her ears were pointed. She wore a tight-fitting uniform with strange symbols, and she was the most beautiful woman Jun-ho had ever seen. Her eyes opened suddenly. They were deep purple with no whites, just large pupils. She looked at Jun-ho and screamed. She jumped out of the pod faster than seemed possible. Before Jun-ho could speak, she had him pinned against the wall. Her strength was surprising. "Who are you? How did you get on this station?" she demanded in perfect Korean. "I'm Jun-ho Kim. I own this place," he stammered. "Impossible. This is a Celestial Alliance research station. I bought it for $1. She let him go and stepped back. $1? What is that? Earth money. Very little money. The station was for sale online. The alien woman's eyes widened. The emergency protocol. It actually worked. She shook her head. "I never thought." "Who are you?" Jun-ho asked. "I am Lara, lead researcher of the Temporal Physics Division." She looked around. "Where is everyone else? How long was I in stasis?" The computer said 2.7 Earth years, and there's no one else. Just me. I just got here. Lara's face showed shock. "They left me. They actually left me here." Suddenly, an alarm blared through the station. "Warning," said the computer voice. "Life support activating in additional sections. Hibernation pods 1 and 5 cycling to wake mode." Lara looked at Jun-ho with wide eyes. I'm not alone after all, she said. And now you're trapped here with us. Junho ran with the 3 alien women toward Section 7. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Air rushed past them as the station tried to seal the breach. What is in Section 7? Junho asked between breaths. The real reason this station exists, Lara said. A new type of engine. One that can cross the galaxy in minutes. They reached a heavy door marked with warning signs. It was partly open, damaged by the explosion. Be careful, Hanul warned. The intruder could be dangerous. They squeezed through the damaged door. Inside was a large room filled with strange machines. In the center stood a glowing blue device the size of a car engine. Part of the wall was gone, showing the blackness of space. A force field kept the air inside. A small figure in a spacesuit was trying to disconnect the blue engine. Stop, Hanul shouted. She ran forward. The figure turned. It wasn't human or like any of the aliens Junho had met. It was small with 6 arms and a round head. It pulled out a weapon. Hanul activated her shield just as the weapon fired. The blast bounced off her shield and hit a control panel. Sparks flew everywhere. The field generator, Mira yelled. It's damaged. The force field keeping the air in began to flicker. The 6-armed alien saw its chance. It grabbed a small piece from the engine and jumped toward the hole in the wall. No, Lara shouted. It's taking the control crystal. Just before the alien reached the hole, Junho acted without thinking. He grabbed a tool from a nearby table and threw it. The tool hit the alien's hand. The crystal flew from its grip and floated toward the hole. Junho lunged for it. His fingers closed around the crystal just as the force field failed completely. The rush of air toward space pulled at him. He felt himself sliding toward the hole. His free hand grabbed a pipe on the floor. The alien intruder wasn't so lucky. It was sucked out into space. Junho, Lara screamed. Hanul and Mira grabbed him, pulling him back as emergency doors began to close. They fell back into the hallway as the doors sealed Section 7. Emergency containment successful, Araya announced. Section 7 is isolated. Junho opened his hand. The crystal glowed with a soft blue light. You saved it, Lara said, her purple eyes wide. And us. What is this thing? Junho asked, looking at the small crystal. The key to faster-than-light travel, Lara explained. With this, a ship can jump between stars instantly. No waiting. No long journeys. That's why the bounty exists, Mira added. With this technology, whoever controls travel controls the galaxy. But it's dangerous, Hanul said. The engines aren't stable yet. They could tear holes in space itself. Junho looked at the crystal. So my $1 station is actually a super-secret research lab for a galaxy-changing invention. Yes, Lara said. The Celestial Alliance was working on it. Then a group called the Dominion found out. They wanted the technology for war. The Alliance couldn't let that happen. So they abandoned the station, Mira continued. But they couldn't take the research with them. Too dangerous to move. We stayed behind to guard it, Hanul said. In hibernation, waiting for the right time. And somehow the station ended up on an Earth website, Junho said, still not believing his luck. The emergency protocol, Lara explained. If not contacted for 2 years, the station would find a new owner who knew nothing about its value. That's me, Junho said. The clueless new owner. A loud banging came from the direction of the holding cells. Dae-sung, Hanul said. He must have heard the explosion. We should check on him, Junho said. He might know more about who's after the station. As they walked back, Lara touched Junho's arm. You risk your life for the crystal. Why? Junho thought for a moment. It seemed important to you, and I guess this is my station now. My responsibility. Lara smiled. It was the first time he'd seen her smile. Maybe the station chose its new owner well, she said. Jun-ho watched nervously as two more pods began to open. Steam rose from them as their tops lifted slowly. What should I do? He asked Lara. Stand behind me, she said. They might be confused when they wake up. From the first pod, a blue-skinned woman emerged. She was tall and athletic with short black hair. Her eyes were solid black and alert. She wore what looked like armor on her chest and arms. The second pod revealed a green-skinned woman with plant-like patterns on her skin. She had long green hair that seemed to move on its own. Her eyes were large and golden. Both aliens looked at Lara, then at Jun-ho. The blue one reached for something at her hip, but found nothing. Lara, what is happening? Who is this earth creature? The blue woman asked in Korean. Hanul, Mira, stay calm, Lara said. This is Jun-ho Kim. He owns the station now. Owns it. The green woman, Mira, looked confused. How is that possible? Lara explained quickly about the online sale and how Jun-ho had paid $1. So the emergency protocol was activated, Hanul said, looking at Jun-ho with suspicion. But why sell to a human? Their species is not even part of the alliance. I think it was a mistake, Lara said. The system must have connected to Earth's network somehow. Jun-ho spoke up. Can someone explain what is going on? What is this place? Who are you? The three aliens looked at each other. He deserves to know, Mira said. He owns the place now. Lara nodded. This station was a research outpost for the Celestial Alliance. I was the lead scientist. Hanul is our security officer, and Mira is our botanist. We were studying some sensitive technology, Hanul added. Then there was a political problem. The station was abandoned. But why were you left behind? Jun-ho asked. We volunteered to stay in hibernation, Mira explained. To guard the research, the plan was to wake us when things were safe. Suddenly, a voice came from all around them. Full system activation complete. Attention station personnel. New owner biometrics registered. Please report to Command Center for briefing. The aliens looked surprised. ARIA is active, Lara said. The station eye. They walked to the command center, where all the screens were now lit up. A hologram appeared in the middle of the room, a female figure made of light. Greetings, Station Commander Jun-ho Kim, the hologram said. I am ARIA, Automated Research Intelligence Assistant. Welcome to Research Station Harmony Point. Hello, Jun-ho said. I have completed the ownership transfer. All systems now respond to your commands. The station is operating at 42% capacity. Would you like a full status report? Jun-ho looked at the aliens, who seemed as surprised as he was. Yes, please. Life support is stable in the central hub and crew quarters. Power is limited in outer sections. Food production is offline. Defense systems are in standby mode. Communication array is damaged. Also, there is an incoming transmission. From who? Hanul asked quickly. Unknown vessel approaching. Requesting docking permission. Hanul turned to Jun-ho. Do not allow it. We don't know who it is. It could be the Alliance coming back for us, Mira suggested. Or it could be scavengers, Lara said. Many would pay a lot for this station. The signal includes a distress code, Araya added. The vessel claims to be damaged. All three aliens looked at Jun-ho. He realized they were waiting for his decision. This was his station now. If they're in trouble, we should help, Jun-ho said. That is a very human response, Hanul said with disapproval. Commander, shall I grant docking permission? Araya asked. Jun-ho took a deep breath. Yes. Let them dock. But Hanul, is there anything we can use for protection, just in case? Hanul nodded. The security locker. I will get what we need. Docking permission granted, Araya announced. Arrival in 10 minutes. Lara looked at Junho. I hope you know what you're doing. He didn't, but he was about to find out what $1 could really buy. Young Ms. White Eyes studied Junho. What kind of deal do you propose, human? First, I keep ownership of the station, Junho said. Second, Lara, Hanul, and Mira stay if they want to. Lara stepped forward. Junho, you don't understand. The council isn't used to negotiating with. Let him speak, Young Mai said, raising her hand. Junho took a deep breath. The faster-than-light technology isn't stable yet, right? That's the problem. What if we make this station a research center, a place where humans and aliens work together to solve the stability issue? Young Mi's eyebrows rose slightly. Humans have no experience with such advanced concepts. Maybe that's exactly what you need, Junho argued. A fresh perspective. Look what I did with the distortion field. I found a new use for the technology that no one had thought of before. Lara looked thoughtful. He has a point. Human thinking is different. Reckless, Hanul added, but she was smiling. Creative, Mira corrected. Young Mai was silent for a moment. Then she said, the council has studied Earth for centuries. Humans are violent, territorial, and primitive. Some are, Junho admitted, but we're also curious, adaptable, and good at solving problems. We see solutions others miss. To demonstrate, Junho walked to a console and pulled up the engine designs. Look here and here, he said, pointing. You're trying to make the field perfectly symmetrical. But what if that's the problem? What if it needs to flow like water instead of being forced into a perfect shape? Lara came closer, her eyes widening. I never considered that approach. Even Yang Mei looked interested. She studied the design for a long moment. Your species might have useful insights, she finally admitted, but this does not solve the legal issue. What if we register Earth as a protected developing world? Junho suggested, and make this station a neutral zone. I'll be the human ambassador. Ambassador? Dae-sung laughed. You were unemployed 3 days ago, and now I own a space station, Junho said. Things change. Young Mi's expression was hard to read. This is highly irregular. The council does not typically allow non-member species to have access to advanced technology. But they already do, Junho pointed out. Bounty hunters know about this place. Others will come. Wouldn't it be better to have official human involvement than risk the technology falling into the wrong hands? Mira touched Young Mi's arm. The emergency protocol chose him for a reason. Perhaps it saw something we don't. Young Mi looked at all of them, then back to Junho. I will need to consult with the council. She raised her hand, and a small hologram appeared above it. She spoke in a language Junho couldn't understand. The conversation lasted several minutes. Finally, she closed her hand, and the hologram disappeared. The council has made a decision, she announced. They are intrigued by your proposal, Junho Kim. They agree to a probationary period of 1 Earth year. This station will be designated as Neutral Research Zone 417, with you as the human liaison. Junho couldn't believe it. He had won. However, Young Mi continued, a council observer will remain on board. That observer will be me. Hanul looked surprised. An enforcer as an observer? That's unusual. These are unusual circumstances, Young Mi replied. She looked at Junho. The council is curious about humans and their potential. This will be a test for your entire species. Junho felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. I understand. Do you? Young Mi asked. If you fail, Earth could be quarantined for centuries. No space travel allowed. No contact with other worlds. And if I succeed? For the first time, Young Mi smiled. It transformed her silver face. Then humanity joins the stars. Junho Kim stared at his laptop screen and laughed. The online auction listing had to be a joke. Abandoned space station. $1. Buyer assumes all liabilities. The photo showed what looked like a small metal station floating in space. It was probably just a toy model or a scene from a movie. But Junho was bored, and he had exactly $1 left in his online payment account. Why not? He said to his empty apartment. The walls were covered with space posters and rocket designs. 5 months without a job had left the 28-year-old aerospace engineer with nothing but time and dreams. He clicked Buy Now and forgot about it. 3 days later, a package arrived. Inside was a metal key card, official-looking papers with strange symbols, and coordinates written in both normal numbers and something that looked alien. Junho called his best friend right away. "Ta-won, you won't believe what came in the mail." "Let me guess. Another rejection letter." Ta-won's voice sounded tired over the phone. "No. Remember that dollar space station I bought online? They sent me actual ownership papers and coordinates." Ta-won laughed. "Someone's really committed to this scam. What do they want now?" $1,000 to process your space station." "Nothing. Just the papers and a key card. And directions to some place in the countryside. You're not actually thinking of going, are you?" "I got nothing else to do," Junho said, already packing a bag. "And I spent my last dollar on this. I want to see how far the joke goes." 6 hours later, Ta-won's old car pulled up to a gate in the middle of nowhere. The road had turned from pavement to dirt an hour ago. There were no signs, just a simple metal fence with a card reader. "This is stupid," Ta-won said. "There's nothing here." Junho got out of the car and walked to the reader. He swiped the key card. The gate slid open silently. Beyond it was not more empty land, but a small, clean facility with a single building and what looked like a launch pad. "No way," Ta-won whispered. They drove in slowly. No one came to meet them. The building door had another card reader. Inside, they found a simple room with a pressure suit hanging on the wall. A computer screen on the wall lit up when they entered. "Welcome, station owner," it said in Korean. "Your shuttle departs in 30 minutes. Please prepare for your journey to property #7729B, now registered in your name." Ta-won grabbed Junho's arm. "This is crazy. We need to leave right now." But Junho couldn't look away from the pressure suit. It was real. Everything about it looked professional and expensive. "What if it's real, Ta-won? What if I actually bought a space station for $1? Then someone made a huge mistake. People don't sell space stations for $1. Junho walked to the suit and touched it. "I've been dreaming about space since I was a kid. All those years studying. And then no one would hire me." He turned to his friend. "What if this is my chance? It's a scam or a mistake. Either way, it's dangerous." The screen changed to show a countdown. 25 minutes. "I'm going," Junho said, taking the suit off its hook. "I have to know." "You're insane. You could die." Junho was already putting on the suit. It fit perfectly. "If I don't come back in a week, sell my stuff and keep the money." "That's not funny." Suited up, Junho walked through a door marked Launch Prep. It led to a small, sleek shuttle that looked nothing like any human spacecraft he'd studied. Ta-won followed him to the door but stopped at the threshold. "Junho, please." Junho smiled through the helmet. $1, Ta-won. Best deal ever. He stepped inside the shuttle. The door closed automatically. The countdown reached 0 as Ta-won watched helplessly from outside. The shuttle lifted off without a sound, carrying Junho to his dollar space station.